the station I don't understand, 'cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Tide and Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a Top 10 Tuesday in the Doghouse. And, well, look, before we get to the Sweet 16 later in the week, it's time to bring this whole WBC thing to an end. And once again last night, there was high drama with Team Japan coming back not once but twice with a dramatic home run to tie the game at 3 and a dramatic double to get the win in the bottom of the ninth, walk-off style, beating back Mexico.
There he goes, looks back at Ohtani. The pitch is hit to left center field. Hit very well, and it is off the wall. Ohtani flying around third, right behind him, scoring the winning run. It's a walk-off. Japan will play for the championship. 0 for 4. 3 strikeouts. Been thinking about it for 6 years now. A moment in the World Baseball Classic he will never forget. My, oh my, a country that is going absolutely crazy in Japan.
Yes, they are going absolutely crazy in Japan. And so tonight, it's the U.S. and Japan for all the marbles, or at least whatever marbles that they play this thing for. It will be an international spectacle. There's no doubt about it. So it is Top 10 Tuesday. It got me to thinking about the most dramatic and patriotic moments in U.S. sports history. Could tonight be one of those moments? Could tonight, if the U.S. were to win in dramatic fashion tonight, where would it rank with some of the greatest international sports moments in the history of U.S. sports? Well, I got to tell you, I found a website called We Are the Mighty, and we're going to see if we agree with them. They've got a list. I got a list. We're going to see if their list, we'll see how we think about their list. We'll get to that. It certainly was another night of excitement in the WBC last night. It really was. Setting up this epic final tonight in Miami. 4 straight sellouts in Miami, by the way, for this thing. Maybe 4 or 5 straight sellouts down there. That's something that you never say with the Marlins playing. You know, hey, you see that Miami had their 4th straight sellout. Well, apparently all the seats in that stadium do work. Now, look, you know how I feel about the WBC. You know I hate it this time of year. I like international competition, especially stuff that we're good at, because I want us to be good at everything, and this is, we invented this thing. But I don't like it happening during spring training. I don't like what it's done to spring training. I don't like players getting hurt for their Major League Baseball seasons, which are so much more important. But here we are. So we must win this thing. We must. Now, look, it means more to the Japanese, because you know what they say over there about Japanese baseball. It just means more. Look, they have for 40 years, they've been trying to prove that they belong on the same stage with the U.S. And now they have the best player on the planet in Shohei Ohtani. But we really need to win this thing. Now, we don't have our total best players in the United States playing in this. We have a pretty good group, though, out there. Good enough group to win. In Japan, these are their best. The best of their best. And they're mid-season. They just stopped. The Japanese baseball season. They just stopped. Now, coming up at the top of the one, longtime friend and a name many of you remember from his time in the Valley, Dan Schwartzman, who is half Japanese, will join us with his thoughts on the WBC. Schwartz is a seamhead like me. Schwartz is now heard with the Bloomberg network globally, the Bloomberg radio network. He does updates on sports and news type stuff for Bloomberg that get, aired all over the place. And he will join us coming up at the top of the one. We'll get his take on the whole thing. In the meantime, the hillbillies from Knoxville are on their way to the big city as the Tennessee Volunteers have an excellent opportunity to make the Elite Eight for just the second time in history, just like Alabama. They can make the Elite Eight for the second time in history, maybe make their first ever Final Four, just like Alabama. Could you imagine Alabama and Tennessee in the Final Four in Houston, playing each other in the national semifinal? Can you imagine it? Look, it can happen. It can happen. They got to beat Florida Atlantic. Alabama has a tougher road against San Diego State. They got to beat Florida Atlantic, Tennessee, to get to the Elite Eight. Then they've got to beat then they got a little bit tougher road to hoe after that. They got to beat the winner of that Michigan State-Kansas State game. There's a chance. Alabama and Tennessee, there's a chance that we could see them in the Final Four, and they would play each other. How epic would that be? They'd both be in their first Final Four. So Vince Ferrara from the Sports Animal, longtime friend, another longtime associate and friend. Vince Ferrara from the Sports Animal is wandering his way up to New York City. And he'll join us from the... Can you imagine what it's going to be like when all those yahoos from East Tennessee end up there in New York City? Hey, Martha, look at the size of that building. Where's that ball? We got that ball in Knoxville, that gold ball there. I rip on Knoxville. Knoxville's a pretty decent town. I'll be in Knoxville later this week. By the way, I will not be doing my show on Thursday. I'll be doing my show tomorrow from the Big Dog Production Studios. Today I'm in the palatial 97.7 ESPN The Zone studio. Tomorrow I'll do my show from the palatial Doghouse Production Studio. Thursday is media day at the 53rd annual Bassmaster Classic, which is the Super Bowl of professional bass fishing. They're fishing for $300,000 first prize money there. I don't know, $500,000 altogether. And it's a thing, man. Well, Thursday's media day, and I have to do a bunch of interviews on media day. I walk the grid, the boat grid, the boatyard. You know how on Fox that Michael Waltrip walks the grid and does the grid walk before a race on Fox? Well, I do that for the Classic. I'll walk the grid in the boatyard, and I'll get like a minute with each. I'll grab a bunch of guys. You'll hear that on this week's edition of Bassmaster Radio. Okay, and then on Friday, I'll be doing the TV broadcast of the of Classic Live on Friday. I'm on at 11:30 Eastern Time, so 10:30 Central Time. I'll be on from 10:30 to maybe 11:15 or 11. I'll be on for like a half hour, 40 minutes, something like that. Best place to watch that would probably be the FS1 app. Would be the best place to snag that if you want to watch it. And then immediately after that on Friday, I will be on the air with you guys. So I'll do the TV, and then I'll be on the air. Maybe from the floor there. Maybe from the Phoenix booth. Maybe I could broadcast from the Phoenix booth. Maybe I'll just set up in one of the Phoenix boats. Maybe I'll do that. Anyway, so I will be in Knoxville this weekend. And then I got stuff to do there Saturday and Sunday as well. I won't be back to the crib until Saturday afternoon. Anyway, so that's what we got coming up on the show. Your phone lines are open at 256-576-4977. You can also text the show, 732-9TA show. That's open all the time, 24/7. 732-982-7469. It's a great way to communicate with us. My Twitter feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. We are also on Facebook at 97.7 ESPN, where you can watch the show, and on Twitch and YouTube at WZZN TV. If you're watching the show right now, this is a very sharp hoodie that I got on. See that logo there? That's three houses next to each other. I think it says Summit Capital Group on the back, is what it says on the back of this hoodie I'm wearing. This is one of my son's company, my second oldest son. This is his company, Summit Capital Group. I told him I'd wear his hoodie on WZZN TV. So you can check that out if you're watching. You can follow on Twitch. You can like and subscribe on YouTube and get notifications. Go to 977ESPN.com. Get links to all of that stuff. And while you're at it, get both of our apps, the Zone and the Blitz. There you can find links to Zone 2, 3, and 4 as well, our alternate streaming channels, and get more great programming. Check out our calendar at 977ESPN.com and find out what is going on. We were just having our staff meeting, and I was like, all right, things are slowing down a little bit. It's getting a little bit quieter this weekend. And Moulton says, yeah, we only have, 7 things that are going on over the weekend. UAH baseball, UAH softball, Alabama, Kentucky baseball, Huntsville Havoc hockey on Zone 4 against Birmingham. And then on Sunday, Lord willing, Alabama will be playing in the Elite 8. UAH softball on 3. Alabama, Kentucky on the air and on primary feed. Havoc versus Macon on Zone 4. It's everywhere. Yeah, stuff everywhere. So you need to have all of our channels so that you can get all of that good stuff. You need to check that out. Nick Saban spoke yesterday after the first spring football practice, and he spoke specifically about the Tony Mitchell arrest in Florida, where Mitchell got arrested driving 141 miles an hour, trying to get away from the cops with a bunch of marijuana in the car. Saban specifically speaking about that situation, but he was about as subtle as a sledgehammer. Yeah, you know what he's talking about.
Tony Mitchell has been suspended from the team and all team activities until we gather more information about the situation and what his legal circumstance is. And, guys, everybody's got an opportunity to make choices and decisions. There's no such thing in being at the wrong place at the wrong time. You got to be responsible for who you're with, who you're around, and what you do, who you associate yourself with, and the situations that you put yourself in. So it is what it is, but there is, cause and effect when you make, choices and decisions that put you in bad situations.
Wow. Subtle as a sledgehammer. I think he might be talking about a little bit more than Tony Mitchell. I'm not sure. Over there in the little glass booth with the slanted ceiling, playing the Platters that Matter and the Stacks of Wax, manning the phones, keeping us on the air, being very careful with who he associates with and the situations that he puts himself in. It's the one and the only DJ Grizzy Grizz.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? Detective. It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a 1-hour television spectacular.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Now, Tom. Hey, Tom.
He may be the smartest person that I've ever met.
Testosterone high today.
What's that?
Testosterone, whatever the it is. Testosterone.
I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
It really doesn't matter what you think. It really doesn't matter what you say.
Tony Mitchell has been suspended from the team on all team activities until we gather more information about the situation and what his legal circumstance is. And, guys, everybody's got an opportunity to make choices and decisions. There's no such thing in being at the wrong place at the wrong time. You got to be responsible for who you're with, who you're around, and what you do, who you associate yourself with, and the situations that you put yourself in. So it is what it is, but there is, cause and effect when you make, choices and decisions that put you in bad situations.
Subtle as a sledgehammer, Grizz. I mean, this is Nick Saban using his bully pulpit and the media. And he's like, guys, we always say how he talks about his team, or he talks to his players through the media. I don't think he was talking to just his players there. I think he was talking to everybody.
My eyes flashed before my eyes as he said that, and it just reminds me of all the times that, I mean, I'm sure all of us can just, when you listen to that, you think about some of the times that you probably did not do the smart thing, you did not do the right thing, or you may have, you know what I mean? You weren't hanging out with the right crowd, and you got to hang out with the right crowd, and you got to put yourself in the right spot, and not get yourself in these kinds of situations. I totally agree with that.
What are the chances that Nick Saban might have gotten a text message from Nate Oates after that ditty? Hey, what are we talking about?
You gonna lighten up a little bit?
I mean, really? I mean, is that what you have to say about that? Now, look, Tony Mitchell got himself arrested. Right? Brandon Miller's not arrested. He's just a witness. But he's pretty clear in what he's talking about. There is no such thing as, did somebody say wrong place, wrong time? And here's this guy saying there is no wrong place, wrong time. Didn't Nate Oates say wrong place, wrong time? Right? I mean, this is like refuting that right off the bat. And then you've got, who you associate with and who you're hanging out with and all of that other kind of stuff. I mean,
there was more layers to it. And if you didn't understand what he was saying right there, he wasn't just trying to jab at Nate Oates. And I hope a lot of people got that message.
Well, who else is he jabbing at? Brandon Miller.
But also other coaches to hold their players accountable. To suspend even if they were involved, right? Right?
Sounds like he's talking to Nate Oates to me, man.
I mean,
you could say that there's other, but I think being that he's at the University of Alabama, it seems like he specifically is talking about the Brandon Miller situation.
No, because I don't think anybody else is going around and saying these types of things for their program.
Right. I it was pretty clear. All right, let's get a quick break. When we come back, we'll go to the lines. The Phillip will be up first when we return, and we'll see. Look, Phillip's call yesterday was not one of his best. It was not I'm just going to say it was not one of his best. Let's see how strong he comes back today with his thoughts on tonight as we take on Japan tonight for whatever they play for in the WBC. Did they get a medal or something maybe? They get a trophy? Did y'all get a trophy, or is this like one trophy for the?
I think they get medals, but they get a trophy.
There's a trophy for the thing. Okay, all right. We'll be back right after this. It's the Tom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN for the Zone.
You're listening to the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seed, managing partner of University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Crimson Tide football. Stop in the University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com for all our great offers. And get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today. Because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide!
Suffering from emotional pain and mental health conditions? Intensive Outpatient Programs, or IOP, is a rich addition to your continued individual therapy. Group members realize they're not alone and that others have similar difficulties. Hearing and sharing different ways to think and cope can be encouraging, empowering, and promote healing. In most cases, treatment is covered by insurance and no doctor referral is needed. Virtual IOP sessions available. Take your first step to wellness by calling 205-999-5247 or log on IOPServicesLLC.com.
This April, the Corn Ferry Tour returns to the Rocket City for the 2022 Huntsville Championship at the Ledges. Experience the beauty and drama of the Ledges in person as golf's rising stars chase their PGA Tour dreams. From the first man on the green to the roar of the crowd when the final putt drops. Be a part of every moment on the mountain. April 28th to May 1st. Tickets to be a part of the action are on sale now at HuntsvilleChampionship.com.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
You know, this process is all about talking ball.
Listen to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond.
What did they want privacy for? To just start talking ball.
Every weekday morning, wake up with Scott and Drew. It's Talkin' Ball. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. Segment of the show is brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental with their two locations, North Parkway, South Parkway, is where you'll find the locally owned Valley Equipment Rental. Ross Roberts and his crew standing by to do a tremendous job for you. Whether you are a local contractor that maybe is interested in long-term rental, or maybe you're a homeowner that wants to get the job done like a pro. In either event, Ross and his crew at Valley Equipment are there to take care of you. They got more excavators than anybody else around. They've got the big excavators now. They got dozers. They've got lifts. They've got skid steers. They've got everything you need to get your job done. And check out Valley Equipment Rental. Just go to valleyequipmentrents.com to learn more. That's Valley Equipment Rents. All right. Phone lines are open. If you want in, you can get in. Right now we go to the lines. Up first is to Philip. Philip, welcome in. How are you?
Well, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
So let's get to yesterday's call, because I went back and listened to that.
Yeah.
That was freaking hilarious, dude. There were 3 conversations going on at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And it was pretty damn funny.
Yeah,
That's how I
You see, I didn't think it was your best effort ever. I mean, you were critiqued. There was a few other texters that came in, and they critiqued you a little bit. You know, Grumpy thinks you're the best caller in the doghouse, but he thought that one was not up to normal, normal standards of the Philip. That was a little bit off, that one, I thought you were off a little bit.
Well, it was funny that you kept talking about players from Japan coming to America, and that's what we weren't talking about at all. We were talking about the internet sucks. Hence, this radio station screwed up people's opportunity to get in the March Madness deal.
Yeah, we did screw that up. We addressed that. We addressed that today in the staff meeting too. We did screw that up, but it is. We did. We got into that, and somebody else had texted and said, "Tell Philip it's time for him to embrace technology." I mean, it's time to move forward and embrace technology. The internet is not going away. We all have to be better at it.
Well, I don't want to belabor this point, but I'm going to for just a second, and then I'm going to go off on the World Baseball Classic. So, you still did not answer the question why Weary Traveler cannot get the same rate. So, if Weary Traveler pulls up to a motel room, and they say, "Oh, well, you can, do that," and he goes out in the parking lot and books a room, he can get it for $30 instead of $100. What sense does that make?
Well, can he go out in the parking lot? I thought it was more the timing of it, not necessarily if you book it online. Plus, the other thing is that if you book it online and you're booking it through one of the travel, like Travelocity or something like that, they get a kickback. So they give those people a better rate sometimes. Now, I have had people tell me, though, if you call us direct, you'll get a better deal than if you call like one of Orbitz or Travelocity or one of those kind of places. All I know is that when you show up at that hotel and you're a weary traveler, they got you over a barrel.
Well, I think that's stupid.
Yeah,
that's as stupid as the stupid Kroger card and the Food Lion card. The Sam's card, I understand. You got a business. You got to buy, 1,000 rolls of toilet paper. That's the place.
No, don't get me started on that. I got the Food City card, which I got to go. I got to buy my food from Food City, and then I got to show my card, and then they give me like a 10% discount off of everything. And I'm like, just give me the best price. When I go to Walmart, they give you whatever the cheap price is. But if you go to Kroger or you go to Food City, you got to show them your card for them to knock the price off. Just give me your best price. Whatever the hell it is, just give me that price, for God's sakes. I agree with you on that one.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my whole point. That's my whole... Hell, you got 200 rooms. We're giving them away for, $50. If a dude comes in and needs a room, and I understand, we're all booked out. People booked online. We don't have a room. But if they have a room, give them the same freaking price.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop with that. Anyway, so Japan won last night, correct? Where did they play?
In Miami. It was great. It was a fantastic game. Yeah, everything is in Miami now. It was a fantastic game. It was a great baseball game. I got to be honest with you. Mexico, all right, the Mexicans, they took a 3-0 lead in the game on a big home run against a pitcher that is supposed to be the next phenom in Major League Baseball. He's a Japanese pitcher, and they took a 3-0 lead. And then Japan tied it up with a 3-run home run, and then it was 3-3, and then Mexico went ahead again, and it was 5-4 in the ninth inning, and Japan came up with 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth to win it and make it to the championship.
And that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I was under the impression, have they changed this?
No.
Because it used to be they were playing over there.
They did the early rounds. They played over there when they played in the Asian bracket, but then the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals all took place in Miami. So tonight they're in Miami again.
So it's all over here.
It's all in Miami over here. Yeah. Well, it's kind of over here. It's Miami. You know what I mean? It's like another country, but it's when I lived in Florida, we used to have a T-shirt that said, "With the last American to leave Miami, please bring the flag."
Crack me up, dude. So, okay, because I'm thinking, all right, you mean to tell me Japan got to travel from Japan to get over here to play? So, okay, I'm wrong about that.
Yeah, well, half of their players are Major League Baseball players, so it's like they're traveling from their spring training, places and things like that. So, they got a bunch of guys that are in the majors.
All right.
Yeah.
Get out and watch some things that I want to watch. So it's just frustrating right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so okay, where is that game tonight? On television.
FS1. FS1, 7 o'clock Central Time on FS1.
Are you kidding me? That's stupid.
Who doesn't get FS?
Stupid.
You don't get FS1? Everybody gets FS1.
No, I don't get FS1. I ain't paying for that crap. I'm going to have to go to somebody's house or go to a freaking bar to watch a damn game.
It's on FS1.
Now I'm ticked off.
They have
That is stupid.
What do you have for TV? It's on basic cable, FS1.
I don't have basic cable right now.
Oh.
It's not my choice. It's not my choice.
Oh.
It's just where I'm living. I don't have that choice. But I will go watch the game.
Yeah.
But that's stupid.
Fox Sports
it's
app.
The World Baseball Classic. The United States of freaking America.
Yeah.
And we can't have it on Fox.
What's on Fox tonight, Grizz? What is on Fox tonight at 7 o'clock?
Dancing with the Stars?
No, it's not there. That's ABC. What's on Fox tonight at 7 o'clock? I think if they'd have known it was going to be the U.S. and Japan, they would have put it on broadcast TV. What is it, like The Masked Singer or something like
911 Lone Star.
Oh, my God, that show sucks.
That show is awful.
My wife makes us watch that
Rob
show.
Rob Lowe is the worst in that.
911. No, it's not that. Rob Lowe is fine. Everybody else in the show is either a transvestite or they're gay. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it, but I can't watch it. It's like it's a fire hall, and there's like 8 characters, and half of them are gay or they're transvestites. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, how many transvestites do you know in your whole life? But yet in this fire station in Austin, Texas, half of the firehouse is gay, and the other half is transvestite. I can't watch it. All right, so that's what's on Fox tonight. The transvestite fire station.
Season 4, Episode 9, Roadkill.
Roadkill.
All right, so I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to travel. I'm going to have to drive, which is a pain in the butt right now.
What about the app?
Freaking hurt.
Fox Sports app. Yeah, put it on your phone. The Fox Sports app.
By the way, let me talk to you about your app.
Yeah.
Because you do your little thing. I'm if I got a second.
Yeah.
You do your, this app and that app. That again, the internet.
Yeah.
The internet.
Right.
People couldn't get on your freaking March Madness thing, and you expect us to go to this and that. I want to check out your bass thing. I can't figure out how to do it.
It's on the app, or you can listen. Bassmaster.com/radio. There's 316 episodes of Bassmaster Radio at Bassmaster.com/radio. You can listen on demand. You do have the internet, don't you?
Then I got to come up with another password and another username.
No. No.
Why is it not just on TV? Put it on TV.
Yeah, okay. But it has to not be on cable TV. It has to be on regular TV. It's got to be on broadcast TV. The app is easy to get. Just go to your app store on your phone and download the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app. I mean,
Literally.
It pops right up. We won't screw that up. That we got right. It's easy.
I figured out how to get you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
what are you listening on? If you're not listening on the app, are you on your computer? Oh, Facebook? You're watching or listening?
Well, I got you on Facebook. I got your little app thing. I can go to that, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen to him if he sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I'll chime in, and you're interesting, so I chime in.
Yeah.
But it's just, oh my God,
all right.
So much with the internet. It's annoying. But anyway,
here to
go
stay.
USA.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. How about them Cowboys?
Much stronger call today from Phillip. Right?
That was much stronger.
Much stronger. Now, that was
More
a
livid.
Phillip call.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
It was a much stronger Phillip call today. Good job by Phillip. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, Vince Ferrara will join us from the Sports Animal in Knoxville. Literally on his way to New York City, driving to New York City right now. Because apparently they can't fly them to New York City. They got to drive to New York City. And he's on his way for tomorrow night's Sweet 16 game for the Tennessee Volunteers. So we'll get his take on that next, right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Everyone loves TV Dad.
On the next TV Dad, presented by Progressive, TV Dad explains becoming a man.
Son, it's time we had the talk.
Okay, TV Dad.
You know, drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
Oh, is that why my voice is changing?
That's a question for your health teacher.
Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
This is Wes Neighbors with Phillip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. We're still a place to call for your insulation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatewitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Suffering from emotional pain and mental health conditions, intensive outpatient programs, or IOP is a rich addition to your continued individual therapy. Group members realize they're not alone and that others have similar difficulties. Hearing and sharing different ways to think and cope can be encouraging, empowering, and promote healing. In most cases, treatment is covered by insurance and no doctor referral is needed. Virtual IOP sessions available. Take your first step to wellness by calling 205-999-5247 or log on iopservicesllc.com.
One of the best-kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. Book your tee time today, 256-841-4551. Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s. Some of us could actually see the lower 60s. A nice change of pace, if I do say so myself. We're only going to drop into the mid 40s as we head into the overnight, early into your Wednesday morning. More cloud cover, though, and we are talking about the opportunity for just a little bit of rain through Wednesday morning. Some of that activity could linger as we head into Wednesday afternoon. Most of the day, though, does look like it is going to be dry. So I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Everything you need is just a click away.
I screw up sometimes, silly.
Okay, almost everything.
Come on, pal. Tell your fortune.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude. Oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing
sure was a Tennessee tea.
The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said California.
So I think Vince Ferreira is sitting in a rocking chair in the back of the pickup truck as the hillbillies head for New York City. I'm not sure that that's 100% fair, to be honest with you. But this segment of the show is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford. And I think that was a Ford pickup truck, to be honest with you, that had all that stuff loaded up on it when the hillbillies headed for Beverly Hills. They're going in the other direction now. They're going to New York City for Thursday night's game. But at Woody Anderson Ford, if you need service, that's the place. Whether you have a Ford or not, if you need service, you need to get it done at Woody Anderson Ford. They do a tremendous job no matter what kind of vehicle you have. And don't forget the certified gold pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson Ford as well. All right, joining us now on a Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, a guy who needs no introduction, but I'll give you one anyway. He is the one and only Vince Ferrara from the Sports Animal up on the hill, as they call it, the Rock, if you will, in Knoxville, Tennessee. And apparently they have not left yet. I don't know. Vince, you don't have the pickup truck loaded up yet? I mean, what's the story there? Why haven't you guys left for New York? It's going to take you a day and a half to get there.
Yeah, not a pickup truck. I am in a Ford from a local terrific Ford dealership.
Oh, nice. Okay.
In town, so we're good to go there. Just trying to knock out a bunch of stuff, meetings, and I'm picking up my guy at Chandler Emerson, who is coming with me, help me out with all the web and social media stuff. So about to pick him up now. I'm gassing up. So yeah, just we're not going to go the whole way today. We're going to break it up. and then finish it up tomorrow.
You know, they do have airplanes that fly from Knoxville to New York City. I mean, you might have to go through Atlanta and then Chicago, O'Hare, and to get there. But I think you can get on a big airplane and get there. I mean, I know you guys have unlimited budget up there from my old friends at Cumulus. Come on now.
Yeah, I should have checked with you for the insights, CA.
All right, so heading up there, back in the day, you're old enough to remember, Arkansas under Nolan Richardson, they used to call it 40 minutes of hell. That's kind of the way this Tennessee basketball team plays. I mean, it is just 40 minutes of hell. And, defense travels, and it certainly have gotten them this far. And they're now, a 5.5 point favorite over Florida Atlantic, and they got an excellent opportunity to make their second ever Elite Eight.
Yeah, you've been following it, the SEC, Tom. The deal with Tennessee's overall numbers has been terrific defensively all season, but they wobbled a little bit down the stretch in their final 12-ish, 14-ish games, and then that was before Zakai Ziegler went down. Then when he went down, they finished off the Arkansas game spectacularly, but they were inspired there. They didn't know if they were going to lose him or, they were hoping for the best. So they were able to get through that game and play great defense. But then the reality hit after that. The regular season finale against Auburn, they gave up 79. And then in the SEC tournament, losing to Mizzou, they gave up over 70 points as well. That was way out of character for them. That has not happened a lot this year. So then the big talking point was, how do they get better without Zakai Ziegler? And they admitted, the coaches that I talked to, did locker room interviews, and the players were all talking about, hey, we're still trying to figure out how to best play without Ziegler. Ziegler was quick and fast. Now they're playing with a bigger, longer lineup, and everybody's had that adjustment. They did some schematic things to change what they were doing. They mixed in some more zones at times. And then they got back to more of their physicality. On top of that, this team is connected offensively and defensively. When it's not as much of a grind offensively, they have more juice defensively. And it gives them more confidence because they're playing on both ends versus some of those games where they're playing in the low 50s where it's a struggle and they can't get one side to help the other. And but when they're defending like that, it typically will help their offense and vice versa. And they're playing better offensively now since that Missouri game, and frankly, since that Louisiana game, because that was the second round was much better than the first round for Tennessee.
Yeah, I remember watching them play in February, and it was so weird to watch them play. They won that game against Auburn that looked like a CYO girls game, 46-43, and then they turn around and they get dumped by Vanderbilt before we knew that Vanderbilt was going to have a strong finish. Vanderbilt, I thought they were going to fire Jerry Stackhouse after they got destroyed by Alabama, and then Vanderbilt finished very, very strong. I think they won like 8 out of the last 9 games. Then they lose the game to Missouri, and I'm like, here comes Alabama, and I watched that game, whistle a whistle, and they'd still be leading that game. I mean, they just smothered Alabama in that game, and I remember the next morning on the show saying, you watch, they'll go to Kentucky and get whacked. Because this is how this team is. They're all over the place. And sure enough, they got whacked by Kentucky. They got whacked by Texas A&M. It was very erratic, the way they played down the stretch. But, I just remember the way they played against Alabama. And if they play that kind of basketball, they're going to be in the Final Four.
Absolutely. And when the confidence that they played with on both ends, big factor in it. And, yeah, they can go a long way if they're defending and playing offense like they are. Tom, I'll say something else, too. The way games are officiated, that's a big factor for Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
When you mentioned a couple of games that were very important, one was the Alabama game. They let them play in that game similar to the way they let them play against Duke. In the Kentucky game, they were calling everything. So Kentucky was living at the free throw line, and Tennessee was outscored tremendously at the line because they weren't as aggressive in getting to the line. It's not the only factor, but it is a factor. Now, let me say this about that whole officiating narrative. Oh, they're playing football out there. It's dirty.
people that sound like they haven't watched Tennessee play all this year.
Right.
It's not what we saw against Duke was impressive, but it wasn't that different than what we saw them at their best at times this year to other teams.
Yeah.
They are physically put together. They play aggressive, and some teams adjust and some teams don't. Look, Tennessee has to adjust to that officiating as well. If they're calling it tight, you have to be able to adjust. They didn't against Kentucky. And then other times they have adjusted to the way the game is called. Other teams have their responsibility as well. I think we may have seen that Duke took advantage of a weak ACC that might not have been very physical. Not compared to Tennessee, it wasn't. So it's on those teams to make that adjustment. They don't play dirty. They play physical, and they force you to adjust. And if you don't have answers, then that's trouble against Tennessee.
Well, isn't that the theme here as the SEC sent 3 teams to the Sweet 16 more than any other conference? I mean, it wasn't just Tennessee. I mean, Alabama plays phenomenal defense, and Arkansas is a hard team to play against that way. So it seems like it's an SEC thing as much as anything else. That's what you're going to run into. Some of these teams, Kansas, when they faced an SEC team, you look at the way Alabama's kind of just romped through their bracket so far. They face these hard-nosed SEC teams, and it's in a way it's kind of like football in as much as that these great defenses carry these teams a long way in these tournaments or into playoffs.
And teams not only adjust within games, Tom, and you're right about that, but they adjust and develop as the season gets going and moves on. That Alabama game, I was there. It was at Thompson-Boling Arena in Knoxville. The first thing that Nate Oates talked about was they were so much more physical than we were, and we weren't ready for it.
Right.
He said, we tried to do it with our scout team. You can't duplicate it. And he said that was one of the big differences in the game. And I bet Alabama would have been a lot more prepared for it had the two teams met again, say, in Nashville. And who knows, maybe they meet.
Wouldn't that be something?
Right.
Oh, my God. Wouldn't that be in New York City? Wouldn't it be something if the hillbillies from Knoxville and the hillbillies from Tuscaloosa met in New York City's storied Madison Square Garden? No, they wouldn't be there. They would be meeting in Houston. But still, wouldn't it be something if they met in the Final Four in front of 50,000 people in a stadium? I mean, that would be absolutely incredible. Vince Ferrara with us here. So, Vince, give me a little lay of the land up there. Who's minding the store? You got spring ball has started up there. It's football town, and everybody's got to be gaga about this basketball team right now. Of course, the women are playing well as well. But who's minding the store back at at Neyland Stadium?
Yeah, we still have. Thankfully, we have like 4 local shows, and so Jimmy Himes has got everything on lockdown. With interviews, and Tennessee gave us, I wasn't there, but Tennessee gave us 6 freshmen to talk to in interviews today after the defensive coordinator, Tim Banks.
Wow.
That's one of the great things that Tennessee does is their player and coach availability. They'll go through and cycle through all of the assistant coaches on staff, and then Heupel will talk, a couple of times a week or once a week, whatever. But they let us talk to a bunch of players and coaches, so that's always a big positive. You don't really get to see that much more practice than anyone else, the couple of periods and all that, and nothing super juicy. But at least they give us a veil so we can try to get some information. So, our website, we'll have a bunch of that stuff up later, 991thesportsanimal.com. But, they're still, believe me, football still is the story. Yes, a lot more people are on this bandwagon with basketball, but people didn't have much expectations for hoops going into the tournament or even after round 1. It was assumed a second-round exit to Duke. So now people are starting to kind of pay attention again, but football still rules the roost. So, that's what drives our content, our discussion more than anything. It's just that the timing of it with everything. Baseball, Lady Vols hosted a couple of NCAA tournament games to get to the Sweet 16. So there's a lot going on for sure.
Yeah, I always say it's a zero-sum world. While the basketball team is making this run into the Sweet 16, the baseball team gets swept by Missouri. Here's the baseball team, number 2 in the country at the beginning of the year. Yes, great baseball team, high expectations, and they're losing games while the basketball team is winning games. It's just they won't let you have everything. You know what I mean? The college sports gods just don't allow you to have everything.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. All right, well, be careful on your trip. Enjoy the big city. And, it's a different world up there driving around, man. Just get there, park your car, your truck, whatever you're driving, and let the Uber and the taxis or whatever take you around. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's the plan. I'm sure I can get some good meals, some good pizza,
some good
steak.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody told me about one of our clients I saw just now. Told me about Rocco's.
Yeah.
And then John's Pizza. Yeah. So I'm hearing about. We'll hit those and we'll turn those receipts in too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're going to find some real nice Italian restaurants where you'll be. That's for sure. All right, man. Yep. I appreciate you as always. Great stuff.
All right, anytime, Tom. Good to talk to you.
All right, we're going to break in here. We'll come back and wrap up hour number 1 next, right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
With over 100 F-150s to choose from and available financing as low as 0%, now is the perfect time to put one in your driveway. It's Truck Month at Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Bobby White back again, inviting you to come on in for the best selection of F-150s we've had in a while. And if you find one that you like, there is no payment for 90 days. Also during Truck Month, not only do you get 0% financing for up to 36 months, but we've also got 2.9% financing for 5 years on remaining 22 models with your good credit through Ford Motor Credit. This offer ends April 4th. And don't forget, we make it really easy for you to trade in and trade up on a Ford Blue Advantage Gold Certified or Blue Certified pre-owned vehicle. Great warranties, 24-hour roadside assistance, and you take it home with a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Hurry on in for Truck Month. 0% financing, no payments for 90 days, and over 100 F-150s to choose from. Woody Anderson Ford, hope to see you soon.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Listen weekday afternoons starting at 5 on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's perfect!
Welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. Let me slip Michael in here before we get to the top of the hour break. Michael, welcome to the show. How are you?
Really good. Thanks for taking my call. Hey, about the Jimbo Fisher comments about the offensive coordinator, the way I kind of took that was basically it's like he's saying that, all offensive coordinators are kind of the same.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of the way I took it. But in reality, you look at what they're doing at Tennessee, and Tennessee's offense is kind of a mix between Art Briles' RPO and Mike Leach's air raid. And this is just my opinion, but I don't think there's another coach out there that can call that style of offense better than Josh Heupel. I think he proved that, putting up 52 points against Alabama and running that up-tempo offense. And so I just think that it's a little bit more than what Jimbo kind of made it seem. I mean, it does matter what an offensive coordinator's philosophy is. It's not just, surely technique obviously plays a part in it. And
right.
You have to coach these guys to run routes and all that stuff. But it does depend on your philosophy and it's what kind of offense you want to run. So I thought that was kind of, I don't know what he's trying to get at by saying that.
There was a couple of things that worked there. One, I think by the time he got the sixth question about Bobby Petrino, he was fed up. You know what I mean? I think
okay.
You know what I mean? I think that Jimbo was like, come on, he's an offensive coordinator. All right, I was an offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? So I think that was part of it. He was trying to make like it's nothing. Two, I think he was trying to make like it's nothing because he didn't want to give it any competitive advantage to people to say that they got to go back and they're going to reinvent the offense there. We'll see what they do wrinkle-wise. And as for Josh Heupel and what they do offensively, I still think the challenge there is to match the offense to the defense. There are a lot of teams that offensively could do more than what you see them do, but you have to work in concert with what you do defensively as well. And I think that's where just because you can score in a minute and a half, maybe you don't want to score in a minute and a half because you got to put your defense back out there. And I think that's going to be the challenge for Heupel. The next step for him as a head coach is to make sure that they mesh defensively and offensively. And it's not just about scoring at will. You also got to stop the other people a little bit. There's no doubt they can, because defenses are going to catch it. They'll figure it out. Just like when, just like when. Thanks for the call, Michael. I appreciate it. Just like when Gus Malzahn came in. When Gus Malzahn came in, it felt like that nobody in the SEC would ever be able to defend the shock and awe that was Auburn's offense. And within 2 years, it was a different deal. The defenses had adjusted to it, and they had shut it down, and we were back to fundamentals. And execution, as Jimbo said, every single question that he was asked about Bobby Petrino. Execution. We're all about execution. Well, of course it's all about execution. That's where last man with the chalk wins comes in. If everybody makes their block and nobody goes in the wrong spot, then everybody makes their seal, and you get a seal here and you get a seal there and you get a kick out there, then you're taking it to the house. It's always about execution. It's like this radio show. It's about execution. I got 4 seconds to get us out of this break, and I will. Coming up next, Dan Schwartzman, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Former NFL quarterback Cam Newton will throw at Auburn's Pro Day today. The 33-year-old, a Heisman Trophy winner with the Tigers, is a free agent, did not play this past season. He spent the final 8 games of the 2021 NFL season with Carolina. Longtime Patriots linebacker Dante Hightower, who won 3 Super Bowl championships over a 9-year career, officially announced his retirement today. He was nicknamed Mr. February by Patriots coach Bill Belichick because of his knack for making big plays in Super Bowls. NBA Maverick star Kyrie Irving, wearing a walking boot after last night's loss to the Grizzlies as a precaution, hopes to play tomorrow against the Warriors. 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ESPN TV. No word yet on the status of Luka Doncic. He's been out the last 5 games with a thigh strain. Dallas hasn't had Doncic and Irving play in the same game since March 8th.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And now, a man who knows what you ate for breakfast.
Time now for the biggest thinker of them all.
He knows it all. He is Drew DeArmond. Listen to Drew and Scott Tyson weekday mornings. It's Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, Check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Now's the time to order your spiral cut honey glazed ham or turkey for Easter from Apple Lane in Decatur. Or maybe consider ordering the family meal deal for Easter that includes an Apple Lane ham, a dozen rolls, sweet potato dumplings, potato salad, and Apple Lane's award-winning banana pudding. If you're hosting a corporate event or just a group of friends, Apple Lane has you covered. They have all kinds of box lunch and party tray options. To order for Easter or anytime, log on applelanefarms.com. Apple Lane on the Beltline in Decatur.
There's the phone and no one to answer.
256-576-4977.
And as a result, we got many, many phone calls and letters.
Give us a call on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline today. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. This segment of the show is brought to you by our good friends at Woody Anderson Ford at the service department of Woody Anderson Ford. It's second to none. The new service lanes over there, if you haven't seen them, I'll tell you what, if they didn't exist, you'd have to invent them. It's incredible. The garage looks like a NASCAR garage. And don't forget the certified gold pre-owned vehicles from Woody Anderson Ford as well. Low mileage, one owner, serviced by Woody Anderson Ford. And in fact, I have two of them, an F-150 and my wife's Mustang, which she won't let me drive, are sitting out in the driveway, and every vehicle I've driven since 2007 has been a Woody Anderson Ford vehicle. All right, joining us now, a name that is very familiar to many of you. He was in our market for a flash back in the day when I first got here in the market in 2004. He was a mainstay in the market at that time. He has gone on to return to his hometown of New York City, where he is with Bloomberg Radio globally. I mean, his voice is heard all over the world for Bloomberg Radio, doing sports and some news stuff as well. He is Dan Schwartzman. Schwartz, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am great, Thom Abraham. Thank you for the fantastic introduction.
Well, you're a fantastic dude. What can I tell you? And when I thought of the work that you've done globally, and I thought of the fact that you do have some Japanese heritage, I thought, you know what? I got to talk to Schwartz because I know you're a big seam head like me, and this thing here coming up tonight, say what you want. We'll get into the WBC as a whole, but this is pretty cool. I mean, on a March night before we get back to the Sweet 16, this is pretty cool to have this championship tonight, whatever this championship means.
It's really cool, and to have Japan and the U.S. and I'm half Japanese, so to me it's like I'd be the parent, like the Kelsey mother, who's got to wear one half her jersey is a Chiefs jersey, half the other side is an Eagles jersey. For me, it's like I got the U.S. and Japan playing. Japan's been a dominant force in the WBC since day one. They won the first two, and the U.S., of course, is the reigning champion, Tom. But so much talent, really, on that Japanese side, and you've seen it throughout the tournament. They're undefeated and had a great comeback win against Mexico. They're down 3-0 in that seventh inning, and then next thing you know, they come back and win it. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and then down in the ninth inning as well to come back. They came back twice to get that victory. Is it fair to say now? I don't follow a lot of Japanese baseball, but from what I understand, they're in the middle of their season right now, right? So they just stopped the season for this. Is that right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of pride there. Look, you watch the players really for any of these countries, and they want to be there. They're having a great time, and to them, it's the Olympics, but it's a different schedule, obviously, than American baseball. And, we're in spring training here at the regular season right around the corner for us. But in Japan, things are different. So it's unbelievable when you watch what's going on there. And I like watching it because you see kind of the talent that's going to be coming over here and trickling in the next couple of years. Mm-hmm. And we've seen some incredible talent come from Japan. And Shohei Ohtani, of course, comes to mind first and foremost. But, you watch Roki Sasaki yesterday. He got hit around by Mexico a bit, but a kid who's 21 years old, who throws about 103 miles an hour, has put up phenomenal numbers, and every Major League Baseball team has salivated, and he's widely considered the best pitcher in the world, not pitching in the majors right now. So you get to see some incredible talent, and that'll be on display again tonight.
Yeah, and of course, the best overall baseball player on the planet, with all due respect to Aaron Judge, is Shohei Ohtani. I mean, what he has done is just absolutely incredible. Now, he'll start out the game tonight as a DH, but is it fair to say that with the Japanese team, I've been saying it this way, we have many of our best players playing in the WBC, we being the U.S. It's the only time I say we. I don't say we about the Yankees or the Browns or Alabama Crimson Tide, but I will say we when it comes to the United States, because I'm an American citizen, so I'll say we. Sure. So we have many of our great players, but until I see Garrett Cole on the bump, you know what I mean? We don't have all our best guys out there. Until I see 99 taking an at-bat, I don't see all of our greatest players. But it feels like with Japan, from what I can tell here, is this is the best of the best. I mean, they rolled out their best players, period, end of story. Is that right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, although Garrett Cole hasn't actually been a big game pitcher for the Yankees.
Well, that's true.
Since getting caught the spider tack, so I don't know what he would do. Maybe 5 innings, 3 runs, the typical Garrett Cole postseason numbers. But you're absolutely right. But in Japan, you're watching their all-star team. Murakami, the guy who had the game-winning hit yesterday, he's coming off a Triple Crown year. He's a guy that also Major League Baseball has salivated over, putting up big numbers in Japan, big power guy. Sasaki, we mentioned. The guy that the Red Sox just gave a big contract to, he had a big part of yesterday's win as well. But, look, they love it because, I think Japan I think there is a feeling there that they don't get the respect, which is kind of ridiculous considering how much success Japanese players have had in the major leagues playing at the highest level. But I do believe they feel that to a point they're not getting the respect. People think, Cuba's great. Dominicans are great. Puerto Ricans are great. The U.S. is awesome. And sometimes you kind of forget how good Japan is in terms of producing baseball players. Yeah, Ohtani gets so much of the pub, but besides him, we don't really talk about a lot of the other guys. But now you're seeing that on display, and I think Japan kind of has pride in showing that they are still competing at a world level, even with guys that have not played in the major leagues. Because everybody seems to think all the great players end up in the majors, which is true, but they do put up some pretty darn good years in Japan, and you're seeing that.
Yeah, and I will say this is more this last generation that it has exploded. We could give a lot of this credit to Ichiro Suzuki, who came over and ended up a guy that a 3,000 hit guy just in his time in the States, and really I think finished right behind or maybe even ahead a little bit of Pete Rose in terms of combined overall. He finished ahead, right? Yeah, he finished ahead of Pete Rose in terms of overall hits. But there was a time, and I'm old enough to remember this, where it was considered a place where washed-up American players went to get a couple of extra bucks and finish their career, and it was considered high AAA type baseball. It was always considered that kind of baseball. And now it's different. I mean, it is different because of what we saw with Suzuki and what we've seen with the number of pitchers, especially that have come over, and now, of course, Ohtani, and we're going to continue to see this flow of players. So at the top of their game, they're outstanding. I mean, they just are outstanding players, very dedicated to the game of baseball over there.
No, and their fundamentals are the best in the world, if you think about it. They all look the same when they're hitting, of course, because they all learn the same style. But I think, look, Ichiro is great, and he amassed over 3,000 hits, and he started at, 27 in the majors. Mm-hmm. Matsui lived up to expectations with the Yankees when he came over. You had other guys that people don't talk about. Sasaki, the closer, of course, the Mariners had some pretty darn good years. Jojima was a pretty good hitting catcher for them. Yeah, you've had some busts, of course. Kaz, Matsui, guys like that. You've had the busts, of course. But the reality is, when you see a guy like Shohei Ohtani, who is the prototypical, listen, if God was creating a baseball player, it'd be Shohei Ohtani, right? Yeah. Tall, lean, unbelievable, fast twitch muscles. We've never seen anybody like him. The greatest player, in baseball right now, and one of the greatest players in history in terms of all, abilities. comes from that country. So if he can come from that, if they can produce that, there's no reason they can't produce others such as him. And you're seeing that. And maybe I think what's opened eyes to people, Tom, is the fact that in Japan you do have an opportunity to hit and pitch. In America, that would never happen, right? Because at some level they'd be like, "No, you're just going to be on the mound," or "No, you're just going to be an outfielder." Yeah, you throw 98, but it doesn't matter. You can be an outfielder. In Japan, apparently, they'll let you do both.
Yeah.
So they're producing a ton of talent. And look, Ohtani's amazing, and he'll look great in New York. Unfortunately, Tom, he's probably going to play for the other New York team when it's all said and done financially.
Well, then he'll end up getting hurt again, and because that's what they do over there with the Mets. Dan Schwartzman with us here from Bloomberg Radio. Their manager, Hideki Kuriyama, he actually is the one that's giving credit for encouraging Shohei Ohtani to go both ways, and be a two-way player. So, he gets a lot of that credit. He is the guy that has been recognized as one of the great managers and a forward-thinking manager, certainly in Japan. But, here in the SEC, we got a little saying it just means more, you know what I mean? Because it just means more down here when it comes to, everything, including this basketball tournament where 3 SEC teams that move on to the Sweet 16. But having said that, when it comes to baseball, international baseball with Japan, you could say maybe it just means more. I mean, their entire country is behind that. It just means more to them right now.
It does mean more to them. Look, you see with Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic as well, right? It just seems to mean more. So, but I love that. Look, people say baseball has no emotion, right? People don't like the bat flips in baseball. People don't like the young people that show some emotion. You're seeing it here. Shohei Ohtani, the Japanese guys are just stone-faced, right, in baseball. They never get ejected from games. They never argue with umpires. They're very polite out there. Ohtani's really one of those guys. And then when he had that big hit yesterday and he ends up at second base, the emotion he showed, something we've never seen from him really in the States, right? He's a joker, he's fun, but once the game starts, in those 9 innings, he's all business. So to see that, absolutely, I think, backs up your point, which is it just means more for them, and you're seeing that. They've been unbelievable. They haven't lost yet.
Yeah. Well, having said that, we need to win this thing now tonight. Now, look, I am on record. I hate this baseball, the World Baseball Classic. I call it the World Baseball Not So Classic. I don't think it should be going on right now. I think it hurts team building. I was very, very happy to see the Yankees keep Luis Severino out of it, and ultimately some of the other guys, Nestor Cortez and so on, not participating in it. You can have the backup catcher if you want to have him. That's fine. But the reality is, you see what happened to Edwin Diaz because of the emotion of the World Baseball Classic. The Mets lose the best closer in the National League for the season. You see some of the other injuries, Jose Altuve. Now, some of them, yes, that could happen in a spring training game. But the emotion of this, Ohtani threw his hardest pitch ever in his career in this World Baseball Classic. Shohei Ohtani's not throwing 102 in spring training for the Angels in Arizona. He's not, because they're gonna ramp him up. But in front of 50,000 fans in Japan, he reared back and let one rip at 102 miles an hour. Could have blew his arm out for all we know. I don't like it. I don't like the timing of it. I just don't like it. Having said that, now that we're here, we need to win this thing tonight.
No, I don't disagree. Every GM and every manager in baseball watches these games holding their breath, hoping their guys come out of it healthy, okay? And it stinks to be a Mets fan losing Diaz. It stinks to be an Astros fan losing Altuve. Look, I'm with you. I think the timing isn't very good, but there's really no better timing. Baseball's not going to stop its season for 2 weeks to have the World Baseball Classic. Financially, it doesn't make sense for them. They're not going to do it in November. Players aren't going to want to play after they played 162 games and a postseason for many of these guys. But you're right. Listen, Shohei Ohtani, and by the way, Shohei Ohtani has the biggest season ahead of him in the history of baseball.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you when I say that. I don't care about Aaron Judge and his $360 million, okay? Or what did you get, 360?
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot more than you and I are getting.
I don't care about it. Right, a lot more than me and you'll ever see, right?
Yeah.
That's peanuts compared to what Ohtani's going to get. Ohtani's got to stay healthy this year, because if he gets hurt, it's going to cost him. This is a guy that's playing potentially for a $500 million contract, and he's gearing up there and throwing 102 miles an hour because he wants to win it for his country. Probably not the most healthy thing. But by the way, did you see that thing, I think, on social media where he owns the 5 fastest pitches thrown, I believe, in this entire tournament?
Yeah.
And he's got the highest exit velocity? I mean, the guy is God.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
Yeah,
the guy is baseball good. I mean, people don't appreciate this, right? And true baseball fans like you or me, when we watch Ohtani, we appreciate it. But get out to a damn ballpark when he comes to your town and watch him, because you're never going to see anybody this good. He's a top 15 hitter in baseball. He's a top 10 pitcher in baseball. He is far and away the best player we've ever seen.
Yeah.
In our generation.
Yeah.
We've never seen it.
And he's got an infectious smile, and he's learned the language, which I really like. You know what I mean? How many guys do we see come over, from Latin countries, and they've been here? Tony Perez has been here for 50 years, and still you can't understand him without an interpreter. But, I mean, this guy is doing a lot to learn the language and assimilate. Good-looking kid, and,
he's got fun. Like, the guys love him in the clubhouse. He's a joker. He plays along. I mean, this is all. Look, this is a guy that is worth $500 million. Forget just the pitcher and hitter, Tom. The fact is he's so marketable. And if a team like the Yankees, who should be able to outspend the Mets, regardless of how rich Steve Cohen is, being the richest owner in baseball, the reality is if the Yankees don't realize that in New York, with a heavy Japanese population, tons of tourists come to New York, if they can't muster up more money than Steve Cohen to go get this guy, then Hal Steinbrenner is a cheap, you know what? Because, come on, this is the golden opportunity. Matsui was a gold mine financially to the Yankees. Ichiro, when he came here, even though he's at the end of his career, made them money. I mean, Shohei Ohtani is the greatest thing we've ever seen in this sport, and I'm 44 years old. It's unbelievable.
Look at Dan Schwartzman making a case for Shohei Ohtani to be a New York Yankee. They made a run at him. When he first came over, he didn't want to play in New York. He didn't. He wanted to play on the West Coast. He wanted to be as close to the Asian community over there and as close to Japan as possible. Hopefully for folks on the East Coast that maybe his attitude has changed about that, but he really didn't want to come to New York. They made a pretty good run at him.
Well, people thought they were going to be the favorites, and they didn't even make it out of that first round, remember?
Yeah.
So that wasn't good. But here's the thing, though. I also think he wanted to carve out his own niche. The Yankees already had history with top Japanese players, and they already had Tanaka there. So I think he kind of wanted to be his own person. Because, look, he could have gone to the Dodgers as well. Instead, he picked the Angels of all organizations.
Right.
But I think now it's about winning. This is a guy that's proven himself, and now it's going to an organization. He's 28 years old. That's going to allow him to win. Angels don't allow him to win. But if you want to talk about all the big boys getting their wallets out, the Dodgers are going to be in on him. The Mets are going to be on him. You wonder if the Red Sox, who have not been spending a ton of money the last few years except to re-sign Rafael Devers, are they saving money for this? Are the Yankees going to blow their budget for him? This is going to be the most fun, or the Cubs, they haven't spent a ton. This is going to be one of the most fun free agent chases we've ever seen, and it's going to be utterly ridiculous when the final dollar amounts come out, because we've never seen anything like him. You ask any baseball expert, Tom, right? All the big baseball experts out there, is there a comp? The answer is no. Aaron Judge, guess what? There's a comp, right? A power-hitting outfielder. Okay, this is what he's worth. Great pitcher. Okay, this is what he's worth. But a guy who can do both. If Ohtani was just a pitcher, he gets $300 million. If Ohtani's just a hitter, he gets $300 million. Well, you combine them. Does that mean he gets $600 million plus the marketability factor? I hope he stays healthy, of course, Tom, and I hope he wins an MVP, because I want to see this guy at the top of his game hit free agency, and this guy's going to win Powerball without actually buying a ticket. It's going to be ridiculous.
I honestly don't think in 4 years he's doing both. I really don't. I mean, I think if 3 or 4 years at max he's doing both. You can't pay the guy that kind of dough and have him be a once-a-week pitcher. You can't do it. And I just think that ultimately he's got to find a spot in right field, and he's got to be an everyday player. Maybe you bring him in every once in a while to close, or if you need an arm or something like that. But I don't think he'll be a regular pitcher.
Tom, but you just hit the nail on the head. This is what I envision. You're right. 3 years, he can still do both, right? He could settle in at first base, because I know he's played a little first base, so they tried him out there in spring training for fun. How about him being a closer as well?
Yeah.
He's got closer stuff.
Yeah.
Right? The guy's got closer stuff. He goes 102 miles an hour. He has deadly secondary pitches. You let him come in and close, and he can play first base. I mean, come on. Why not?
Yeah.
It's like the college guy, right? The college guy pitches on Friday and closes on Sunday or whatever it is. So the fact is, you can pay him as a /starter for 3 years and a closer for the rest of his career on top of being a great hitter.
It's Japan. It's the U.S. It's tonight. It's in Miami. I don't know why it's in Miami, but it's in Miami. And
weather, my friend.
Yeah, well, they got domes other places. You know what I mean? They could have put it someplace else. But it'd be interesting to see in the future how much of a push Japan makes to get the semifinals and the finals. Whether or not someday, if this is the World Baseball Classic, why is it always in the U.S., even though it's a Major League Baseball thing? And I don't know what they get. Did they get some extra money? Did they get,
No, I don't think they
don't get anything, right? They get a medal or something like that, which is, but as I said, we are here, so we need to win this thing, all right? It's just the way it
Absolutely, I agree 100%. No question, we got to win this thing. And I mean, as we in the U.S., not Japan, with my dual allegiance.
Schwartz, it's so good to catch up with you, man. I know you're always passionate about baseball. Good to talk to you again, and let's do this again sometime during the real baseball season when they're playing for something that really matters, which is Major League Baseball and the World Series.
Opening day is a couple weeks away. You just let me know. I'll pop on with you whenever you need.
All right, brother. I appreciate it. Good stuff.
All right, Thom.
Dan Schwartzman. Bloomberg Radio is where you'll find him now. All right, let's get a break in here. We come back. We are open lines the rest of the way. You want to react to that? Go ahead and jump in. Are you watching? Are you looking forward to this? Look, I'm watching it. There's no doubt about it. I got to check it out. Now, they sucked me in, and I can't get out. They sucked me into this thing. All right, we'll come back with open lines next. It's the Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Check out VSiN's catalog of original podcasts, daily and weekly programming to keep you in the know when you're on the go. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The men's Sweet 16 is set. Odds to win the national championship heading into the next round. Alabama, the leader, plus 375. Houston's plus 400. UCLA plus 950. Connecticut and Texas, both plus 1,000. Creighton and Gonzaga, plus 1,200. The tallest bet, Princeton, a plus $17,000 bet to win it all. Tennessee, the favorite to win the East, plus 500. Alabama, plus 200 to win the South. Houston, plus 135 in the Midwest. UCLA, plus 350 in the West. Sweet 16 action is this Thursday and Friday.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Everyone loves TV Dad.
On the next TV Dad, presented by Progressive, TV Dad explains becoming a man.
Son, it's time we had the talk.
Okay, TV Dad.
You know, drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
Oh, is that why my voice is changing?
That's a question for your health teacher.
Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
If you're looking for a place where you can find your rhythm and feed your rhythm, then Rhythm on Monroe might be your happy place. Rhythm blends great drinks, cuisine, and live rhythms from local artists throughout the week. Like and follow our Facebook page to see specials in the weekly live entertainment schedule by local entertainers, such as Josh Allison, Preston Watts, Mike Roberts, Connor McMurray, Noel Webster, Ingrid Marie, and others. Open daily at 4 with brunch served on Saturdays and Sundays. Reservations available at rhythmonmonroe.com. Parking at the Von Braun Center is discounted when you provide your receipt at Rhythm on Monroe.
This April, the Corn Ferry Tour returns to the Rocket City for the 2022 Huntsville Championship at the Ledges. Experience the beauty and drama of the Ledges in person as golf's rising stars chase their PGA Tour dreams. From the first man on the green to the roar of the crowd when the final putt drops. Be a part of every moment on the mountain. April 28th to May 1st. Tickets to be a part of the action are on sale now at HuntsvilleChampionship.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s. Some of us could actually see the lower 60s. A nice change of pace, if I do say so myself. We're only going to drop into the mid 40s as we head into the overnight, early into your Wednesday morning. More cloud cover, though, and we are talking about the opportunity for just a little bit of rain through Wednesday morning. Some of that activity could linger as we head into Wednesday afternoon. Most of the day, though, does look like it is going to be dry. So I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
New coordinators.
That's as good as money, sir.
New quarterback.
That's my quarterback.
Same coach.
All right, and you all may be taking the week off, all right, this week, but I'm not.
We are your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Never get enough Skinner. And welcome back to Tom Abraham Show. This segment of the show is brought to you by North Alabama Mortgage in Tennessee, Alabama, and in Florida. You'll find North Alabama Mortgage there to make sure that you get the right product and make sure your mortgage goes as easily as possible. You want to get pre-approved with North Alabama Mortgage so that you could take advantage not only of the rates but also take advantage of making sure that your offer gets accepted first. And it's still very, very competitive out there in the buying market. And, yeah, you might say, well, them rates are up a little bit. Well, yeah, so is the value in your house. Okay, all right, keep that in mind. Do the math. Value in your house is way up. Get a home valuation done by the folks at North Alabama Mortgage. Just go to NorthAlabamaMortgage.com and learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. Well, LSU Lynch has gotten loose off of the Nick Saban comments that we played earlier in the show.
Tony Mitchell has been suspended from the team and all team activities until we gather more information about the situation and what his legal circumstance is. And, guys, everybody's got an opportunity to make choices and decisions. There's no such thing in being at the wrong place at the wrong time. You got to be responsible for who you're with, who you're around, and what you do, who you associate yourself with, and the situations that you put yourself in. So it is what it is, but there is, cause and effect when you make, choices and decisions that put you in bad situations.
LSU Lynch hits the text window with, well, the Queen of Alabama has spoken. Really? Tony Mitchell will start this year. Then he said, go Havoc, spelling go, Geaux. LSU Lynch. That's pretty strong words. I mean, what has LSU beaten Nick Saban, 3 times maybe in 18 years, something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that. He's speaking very aggressively there. Tony Mitchell may start at some point in time this season. Who knows? He might not. This could cost him. We'll see. 141 miles an hour.
Yeah, he had a lot of marijuana on him and a lot of money on him too.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on now, it's all there. And talking about the Queen, don't be talking about Miss Terry like that.
Yeah.
So if he's talking about Miss Terry like that,
ooh, is he talking about Miss Terry?
He better not be talking about Miss Terry, because if Miss Terry was on it, Mitch will be off. He'd be off the team.
I don't think that he's. Hang on 1 second here. All this double verification stuff that you have to do now.
Hey, that's the reason why, it has helped me in so many things.
Oh, has it?
Yes, because, it keeps people from, trying to, log into your stuff, hacking your stuff.
Such a pain.
Like a 97.7 ESPN The Zone bracket.
Oh, well, there's that.
It's hackers. It's Russia. It's Russia, allegedly.
Let's blame it on Russia.
Yeah, it's probably Russia.
It must be Russia's problem. Text window, the recipe for beating Japan is pretty simple. 2 big bombs, and they'll quit. Chubby Ninja. He says, too soon? The Chubby Ninja. 2 big bombs and they'll
Turner
quit.
Bombs. 2 Trey Turner bombs.
I don't think he's talking about those kind of bombs, Chris.
Goldie bombs. Goldschmidt bombs.
I don't think he's talking about those kind of bombs either. I think he's talking about 2 big bombs.
A little much. I think that was a little much.
I think he's talking about 2 big bombs, and then they will quit. It's Japan. We got to get after them. It's friggin' Japan.
Defending champs, they could go for basically having the most as a team too, so that they could have 3 total.
Well, we could tie them.
Yeah.
Right. We'd each have 2.
Right.
If the U.S. were to win that one. Grumpy on the comment that I made about just because you can score quickly doesn't necessarily mean that you do score quickly. He said scoring too quick. I'm talking about football here, by the way, just in case people were thinking it was something else I was talking about. Scoring too quick cost Auburn a national championship. Too much time left on the clock for Jameis Winston and FSU. Well, that's a good point. I mean, there you go. That's a perfect example of what we were talking about. And from the 970 regarding is that South Dakota Dave 970? I think that's it. No, is he 7-something?
No, because I think it could be the Phillip, because I know he just asked me. Oh, well, he just asked me what the text number was.
Maybe it is the Phillip. Oh, it might be the Phillip. I thought he was ripping the Phillip. Okay, I see. The Phillip texted the show.
Did you say 907?
No, 970. Okay, that must be Virginia. I guess this is the Phillip. I couldn't understand it. It's kind of written in computer hieroglyphics. It says, "Is this thing working?" Now I get it if it's the Phillip. "Is this thing working?" ? Nolan Ryan was way more better. Signed the Phillip. And then no punctuation, and he just keeps on talking. "Why didn't we do this for the freaking March Madness thing? ? I can figure this out, just saying." Well, we couldn't do it for the March Madness thing. We had to have it in the ESPN.
A 970 area code is in Colorado, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He might have lived out there at some particular point in time. He says, "Can I use this anytime or just when you're on the air? Like when I catch monster catfish instead of blowing up your Facebook page." Oh, and hey, how about them Cowboys? Yeah, you can. That's open 24/7, 365. Yeah, you can use that whenever, however. You can use that at any time. That is open for you for your use. And I read the good ones on the air. I don't read them all, but I read the good ones on the air. There's no doubt about it. So that's the Phillip, huh? Maybe I'll have to save that number so I'll know it's the sign your text to the text window so we know who you are. He did sign it halfway through a sentence.
Yeah,
halfway through one sentence, he just signed the Phillip. He didn't just sign it, the Phillip. He told me that it was signed the Phillip. It's like that commercial. The Progressive commercial for, not becoming your parents.
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't leave a text message. Don't leave a voice message with the phone number.
Or buying the same type of shirt twice. Like having like the same shirt.
I buy
saying, this is a nice shirt.
I buy two of everything. I buy 2 of everything. No doubt. Wolverine Dan is up. Wolverine Dan, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, Tom, those are minutes that you just did. Saban, who cares? Japan, who cares? And, of course, Phillip, I really don't care. But that's 10 to 15 minutes of my life I can't get back.
So not Nick Saban, not the World Baseball Classic. So tell us, what do we care about? What do we care about? You clean your Did you clean your bathroom today? I mean, wait a minute. I mean, did you paint the fence outside in your backyard today and clean your bathroom?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I did a lot of things today, but I'm not going to tell you what I did today.
You talk about Detroit Red Wing hockey, maybe? I don't know. I'm just saying.
No. You talk about what's relevant. It's the NCAA tournament.
I love this. Wolverine Dan is not a voice of reason. I love you, Wolverine Dan. Wolverine Dan's like, wait a minute, talk about the tournament. It's what's relevant right now.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, oh Lord have mercy. So
you're having a pretty good tournament so far. Looking at your ranking here, you're not doing bad.
I was on the first page, and then Indiana screwed me over, and I think I'm not on the first page.
You're not on the first page, but you're still ahead of me. Of course, a lot of people are ahead of me.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't feel so bad. But is my son Chad? Am I ahead of him?
What's the name of his team?
No, I'm talking to Chad that works for you.
That Chad? No, you're definitely ahead of him.
My son.
Hell, I'm ahead of him. Yeah, we're all ahead of Chad.
Yeah, my bucket sucks.
Chad, you're in 44th place. You're in a tie for 44th place right now, Wolverine Dan. So you
That's not bad.
you have 410 points. I have 380 points. I think Chad has 360 or 370.
I have 370.
All right, but you got, what's your final four? Again, you got 3 left.
I got 3 left. I'm not in terrible shape for a big rally this weekend. I have 6 of my Elite 8 left, and I have Alabama, Houston, and UConn still left in my final 4. I lost Duke. And so I really, where I can gain on some people, and most notably, the only one I really care about beating is Drew. I mean, I gotta somehow, and it's going to be tough. Drew's got 420, and I got 380. It's going to come down to the West. Drew has UCLA in the Final Four. I have Gonzaga in the Elite 8, losing to UConn, and UConn to the Final Four. So if I can get UConn, if I can get Gonzaga to beat UCLA and UConn to beat Gonzaga, I will move ahead of Drew. I think that's what will happen.
See, the thing with then Drew and I have a lot alike because I got UCLA also.
Oh, to the Final Four?
And the championship game.
Oh, my gosh. You got them all the way to the championship. You're in trouble. I think Gonzaga's going to beat UCLA.
Okay, well, all right. Well,
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see. But, now you tell me there's only one guy that's got 4 of the teams still left. That's really, they're calling that, the quadfecta or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
That's not easy, dude. That was not easy.
Well, we had about 40 people. He's talking about the Final Four fecta. In the Final Four fecta, only, and you know who it is that's left is what is it? Bama Matt? It's Badgelary's kid, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the only one that's still left in the Final Four fecta. Now, tomorrow, we will do another Final Four fecta. It'll be you give me your Final Four and your championship game and winner. All right, tomorrow you give me your Final Four championship game and winner, whereas because now we're down to 16, and hopefully some people can get that right.
Well, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, because I'll give you a call tomorrow for sure. But I don't mean no disrespect when I threw off the Saban Japan and the Phillip, of course. But Phillip, I don't know what it is, dude. But man, you've got some anger issues. I hope that you can find some medical help or something, or at least a cup of coffee and a Marlboro.
Now, Phillip has had a few Marlboros, it sounds like, when you ever hear him laugh. I mean, he's got a little bit of that raspy laugh.
Oh, yeah, that's the smoker's call.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right, my friend. It's nice talking to you, and I will give you a jingle tomorrow.
All right. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, Grizz, let's get a break so that we can come back with the Tuesday Top 10, because I like this Tuesday Top 10 that I have here, because tonight we have an opportunity for a very patriotic event, to the U.S. beating Japan. It would be a big deal. So we've got a shot at a very patriotic event tonight, but where would that stack up with these other patriotic events that have happened in the history of sports? We'll run that list down to next right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
We love our pets, and when we need boarding or vet services, we want the best. That's why we chose Paradise Pet Resort and Spa. Everything our pets needed, all in one place. Boarding for both dogs and cats. Doggy daycare, grooming and spa services, web cameras, and top-notch vet care, too. It's a true Paradise Pet Resort for your furry friends, serving all of North Alabama. Find out everything you need to know and book services online at ParadisePetResortAndSpa.com. Located in Madison, just off 565 at Wall Triana, behind Cracker Barrel.
Now's the time to order your spiral cut honey glazed ham or turkey for Easter from Apple Lane in Decatur. Or maybe consider ordering the family meal deal for Easter. That includes an Apple Lane ham, a dozen rolls, sweet potato dumplings, potato salad, and Apple Lane's award-winning banana pudding. This week you can get your Apple Lane Easter goodness for half price with our zone deal. $50 worth for just $25. Get your zone deal now at 977ESPN.com. Apple Lane on the Beltline in Decatur. You may only use one coupon per purchase.
Who knows comfort? Well, comfort is our middle name. If your home isn't as comfortable as you want it to be, we can fix that. We service all makes and brands of heating and cooling systems, even if we didn't install them. So give us a call at Environmental Comfort Systems or visit our website at envcomfort.com. We are your independently owned American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Alabama license number 92314. Environmental Comfort Systems. That's envcomfort.com.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s. Some of us could actually see the lower 60s. A nice change of pace, if I do say so myself. We're only going to drop into the mid 40s as we head into the overnight, early into your Wednesday morning. More cloud cover, though, and we are talking about the opportunity for just a little bit of rain through Wednesday morning. Some of that activity could linger as we head into Wednesday afternoon. Most of the day, though, does look like it is going to be dry. So I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, more of the Tom Abraham Show on your home for Crimson Tide Sports, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Roll Tide.
Now, welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. By the way, congratulations to Dante Hightower on his retirement. Dante Hightower, outstanding linebacker out of Lewisburg, Tennessee, where he went to school down there, Marshall County High School down there, was a four-star recruit. He was one of Nick Saban's earliest recruits. Dante Hightower won 2 national championships with Alabama, and that was in 2009 and 2011. Then he turned around and won 3 Super Bowls with the Patriots. He was a second-team All-Pro player. He was a 2-time Pro Bowler as well. He was part of the New England Patriots All-2010s teams and All-Dynasty team as well. He was All-American for Alabama in 2011, first-team All-SEC in 2011 as well. Dante Hightower with a great career and was just an outstanding linebacker, and he was the will linebacker alongside Rolando McClain when Rolando McClain was the Mike. And that was, there's been a lot of great linebacker pairings at Alabama over the years, but Rolando McClain and Dante Hightower might have been the best. Might have been the best, Chris. Could have been the best.
Rolando McClain was the only person that could curse at Saban and probably get away with it too. It was just one of those ones where he respected both of them, but Hightower carried himself perfectly when he was in there. I know Rolando had some problems and issues and everything like that, but those two guys were studs.
Yeah, he was a little bit It was a little bit weird that way. Look, I refer to myself as a seam head, right? And I talk about that, and I'm actually very excited about tonight's game.
Yeah.
But I gotta ask you a question. Who in the hell is Merrill Kelly, and why is he starting this game tonight with all the
pitches for the Diamondbacks?
Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even make it to the majors until he was 30 years old.
I think he went 13-8 last year.
He was 13-8 last year. It was his best year by far in baseball. I mean, his first year, he was 30 years old in 2019 when he came up. He went 13-14, led the league in losses, and was 3-2, 7-11 at 13. He's 36-35 lifetime. I mean, his 162 game average is 13-12. His ERA is just under 4. I mean, that's what we got tonight. There's nobody else that can go tonight.
Well,
can we call in some reinforcements for this one game? I mean, it's Japan, for God's sakes.
I mean, have you heard of the other pitcher, Imanaga? I mean, he's from the Yokohama Bay Bear
Swallows or
what are
something
they
like
called?
Yeah, but over there,
Bay Stars, that's what they're called.
Yeah, but he's good. His ERA is a lot lower than. Yeah, I mean, for those guys, he's good. This Merrill Kelly, apparently he's like played in like Korea or something for years and years.
In Australia, I believe.
Australia?
Yeah, in Australia.
They play baseball in Australia?
They
I thought
do.
they play cricket down there.
No, you know what's funny about your Unleashed earlier? I want to say this, though.
Yeah.
I like how you were talking about all the players that didn't sign up for it, and then you labeled
for Cuba.
But I'm talking about for the U.S., though, that didn't play.
U.S.
And then you labeled 2 Yankees players. You didn't say, you said Garrett Cole instead of Max Fried, Kyle Wright.
Well,
Come on,
wait a
man.
minute. Garrett Cole, Max Fried, or Kyle Wright? I mean, which of those?
Kyle Wright.
Yeah, but Kyle Wright's not a Cy Young winner. You know what I mean? I mean, Garrett Cole is. I mean, although his big game record.
But I like how you
But
picked
those
2
were two
Yankees
names
players.
that popped into my head was
Yankees
Aaron
players.
Judge, and Kyle and Mac and Garrett Cole.
Yankees players.
And there are some others that, those are guys that are, I mean, one's the MVP and the other's a perennial Cy
I'm
Young.
not going to lie. I loved watching Lance Lynn the way he was able to perform throughout this whole thing, too. I mean, as a starting pitcher and Wainwright. I mean, it's kind of silly.
Comes down to Ohtani versus Mike Trout. Ohtani is in there to close. Mike Trout is at the plate. He has not played great in this thing.
He struck out 3 times in the last game.
In the last game, but although I think overall his number, he's hitting over 300.
Yeah, I think Trey Turner's hitting 368.
All right, give me a little Tuesday top 10. Give me a little.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's the Tuesday top 10.
Now, I always say that Shane and the Moneymakers out of Nashville, but did you know that it was the Phillip that set that up?
Yeah.
With Shane and the Moneymakers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Phillip's
Phillip's got a lot of sound.
He's a musician himself. Or was. At least that's why he was in Nashville. All right, these are the top 10. According to We the Mighty, these are the top 10 most patriotic events in sporting history. And number 10 is way too low. I'm going to tell you right now. Number 10 is the Miracle on Ice. I thought it would be number 1. I mean,
I would have put it in top 3, but I don't know about number 1, and I'll tell you what my number 1 is.
Well, they've got it at number 10. 1980. You got hostages.
Top 3.
You got all of that stuff. Do you believe in miracles? Al Michaels, who had never called a hockey game before, beating the Soviet Union 4-3. One of the biggest upsets in all of sports history. That wasn't for the gold medal. They had to beat, Finland or Sweden? Finland, I think. Finland for the actual gold medal. That was number 10. Number 9 on the list is the Buckeye Bullet burning Hitler. Jesse Owens, 1936 Olympic Games. He had already set 3 world records and tied another. At Ohio State, he had won 8 individual NCAA championships, which was a record in its own right. He gets to Berlin. He knew that Nazi Germany was using the games as a showcase for its racial policies, but he competed anyway, and he won 4 gold medals in the 1936 Olympics, an unrivaled achievement until some 50 years later when Carl Lewis did the same in 1984. And as Owen won these medals and won in other events, Hitler would leave early. Hitler wouldn't stay and watch Jesse Owens, the African-American athlete, wouldn't watch him. And Nazi minister Albert Speer would later write that Hitler was, quote, highly annoyed by the series of triumphs by the marvelous colored American runner Jesse Owens, close quote. That's a quote from back in the day when he used to use that term. Number 8, most patriotic thing. President Bush's 9/11 opening pitch, post 9/11 opening pitch. That was, wow, that was something.
Wow.
When George Bush, the younger, went out there and he threw that opening pitch, it was amazing. And it was Game 3 of the 2001 World Series, just weeks after 9/11, and Bush didn't want Americans to think that the president was incapable of finding the plate, so he practiced underneath the stadium ahead of time. Yankee Derek Jeter told him that he needed to both throw from the mound, not in front of the mound as originally planned, and not bounce it. They'll boo you, Derek Jeter said, if you bounce it. And he threw a perfect strike. That was a very patriotic moment. That was moving. Number 7, Rick Monday saves the flag. I don't know if you guys remember this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Rick Monday, 1981 World Series winner, and he was a top prospect in 1965. In 1976, when Monday was with the Chicago Cubs visiting the Dodgers, somebody came running out on the field. 2 protesters jumped on the outfield, tried to burn a flag on live TV. And Rick Monday, seeing what was about to transpire, ran over and snatched the lighter fluid-soaked flag. The protesters were arrested, and Monday was able to keep the flag. And ever since that day, Monday used the actual flag to raise money for military families. Think about that. It was a lighter fluid-soaked flag. I mean, he was taking a risk that that flag could have caught fire while he was, while he had it.
I wish players today would do something like that. Just take them out.
Number 6, this one's a little too high. Muhammad Ali lighting the Olympic flame in Atlanta. It was really cool. He lit that. When he lit that flame, but he was suffering from Parkinson's disease at the time. I don't put that on the level of some of these other things. Number 5, Joe Louis knocking out a Nazi. 1938, Hitler was touting the Germans as a master race, and German athletes competed the world over for top honors. Max Schmeling met the American champion, the brown bomber Joe Louis, who knocked him down like 3 times and took him out in front of 70,000 fans in Yankee Stadium. And earlier, Schmeling in 36, Schmeling had beaten Louis, giving him his first loss in a 12-round fight, and it didn't happen this time. It was Joe Louis knocking out Max Schmeling. Number 4 was the 1999 Women's World Cup Final. Way too high on this list. Way too high on this list. Because it's not, it came out to a shootout tiebreaker against the Chinese. We were heavily favored. So I don't know how that was a hugely patriotic move. Number 3 is Mary Lou Retton winning a gymnastic first. She was the first. She's delivering a stunning blow to the Eastern Bloc during the Cold War. Before Retton, Team USA was never able to win a gold medal from Eastern Europe in the individual all-around gymnastics event, and she won. A little high on the list. Number 2, I think this one is in a pretty good spot. Rulon Gardner beating Alexander Karelin, who had not lost in years, and Rulon Gardner beat him. They called him the Russian Bear. Not Gardner. Karelin was called the Russian Bear. Hadn't been defeated in a match since Russia was still called the Soviet Union. It was his only loss. And Rulon Gardner beat him. And number 1, Team USA carries the World Trade Center flag to the Olympics. 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City. Team USA with that tattered World Trade Center flag coming out found in the rubble of Ground Zero, and that was, according to them, that was the most patriotic moment in sports history. What was yours?
Oh, I was totally okay with the Jesse Owens being the first one because of how much
I like that one.
Because of how much was put into that event, what Hitler was trying to do. If you realize what he tried to do outside of the city, I've watched many documentaries that talk about how they shut down that whole city to make it look like nothing's going on. They made it look like everyone's happy. Come see this event. And then as big as that event was of him winning, Germany dominated that Olympics. They had like 100-something medals. They had over 38 gold medals. They destroyed the U.S. when it came to medal count. And it was just one of the biggest events ever where he tried to like cover up what was really going on throughout that whole time. And to be able to do that and be able to create this big spark about it was truly amazing.
Yeah. I would have Jesse Owens up there in the top 3. I would have the Miracle on Ice in the top 3. I would have President Bush's pitch in the top 3, maybe. I'd have like 5 things in the top 3. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back and close it up next right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
With over 100 F-150s to choose from and available financing as low as 0%, now is the perfect time to put one in your driveway. It's Truck Month at Woody Anderson Ford. I, Bobby White, back again, inviting you to come on in for the best selection of F-150s we've had in a while. And if you find one that you like, there is no payment for 90 days. Also, during Truck Month, not only do you get 0% financing for up to 36 months, but we've also got 2.9% financing for 5 years on remaining 22 models with your good credit through Ford Motor Credit. This offer ends April 4th. And don't forget, we make it really easy for you to trade in and trade up on a Ford Blue Advantage Gold Certified or Blue Certified pre-owned vehicle. Great warranties, 24-hour roadside assistance, and you take it home with a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Hurry on in for Truck Month. 0% financing, no payments for 90 days, and over 100 F-150s to choose from. Woody Anderson Ford, hope to see you soon.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Sports Talk 24/7 365. Your full-time sports station.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Doesn't anyone do any work around this joint anymore?
The anthem today is brought to you by the Orthopedic Center. TOC Sports. Remember, it's more than just sports. Whether you were hurt at work or in a sporting event or maybe you're just aging, they can take care of you at TOC. They've got an expert for everything. I mean, you got a shoulder problem, they got a shoulder guy. You got a neck problem, spine, whatever, they got you covered. You got wrist, knee, ankle, they got you covered. That's the way they roll there at TOC. They've been taking care of this Tennessee Valley for well over 20 years, and they take care of just about every high school in the Valley, along with Alabama A&M, the Huntsville Havoc. They do it all at TOC. Locations all over the Valley as well. Wherever you are, you're not far from a TOC office, that's for sure. All right, coming up next, it's the Paul Feinbaum Show. And then it'll be the drive. Where are they tonight? Are they at the Furniture Factory tonight? Furniture Factory tonight. It's Pedro's birthday. Or, so they always got that going on.
Outside of the Mexican feast, they got some great food out there.
My daughter is performing there, I think Thursday or Friday night. My daughter Kelly will be performing there at the Furniture Factory, doing her singing thing. For Grizz, I'm the big dog, and this is 97.7